Okay, we gotta talk about What If Season 3, Episode 2, because this episode was just interesting. There are so many different things I want to talk about with it, but first we're gonna break it down, then I'll give my thoughts. Before we get started, we're on the road to 2,500 subs, and we're getting so close. If you're new to this channel, I would love to have you here. Also, leave a comment down below with your thoughts and theories, because I read every single one, and I most likely will respond. Also, let's see if we can get this video to 50 likes.
You serious?
Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about this wild episode.
I'm Spider-Man.
This episode focuses on Agatha Harkness and Kingo from the Eternals. In this universe, Agatha became an actress, and she's kind of using the movie industry to harness her power and achieve her real goals of being a witch. She's kind of doing the same thing that Kingo was doing in the Eternals movie, but he's also doing it here, so in order to unlock her full power, she has to meet and take Kingo's power. And she wants this power because she actually discovered that Tiamat was inside of the Earth's core, and she wants to harness that power. With Agatha Harkness, it's always about power, and here is no different. We have Howard Stark here, who plays an over-the-top, enthusiastic director or producer, and if I can be honest, he was my least favorite part about this episode because of how fast he talked. So after Agatha and Kingo meet, we have like a 10-minute dance sequence, which I really wasn't a big fan of because I was sitting here wondering, what are we doing? What's the end goal with this? Obviously, it was very visually pleasing, but I felt the minutes going by wondering if we could have gotten something else. Not something else in this episode in particular, but maybe just a completely different concept overall. Luckily, things kind of switched around for me, so we find out that Agatha actually got all of the powers from the Eternals and is keeping them hostage, and she just needs Kingo's power in order to control Tiamat. They actually end up working together to stop Tiamat from destroying the planet because Kingo's lived here for so long, and Agatha convinces him that this place is worth saving. While still, yes, being Agatha, who has her own plans on the side. So Agatha gets the powers of Tiamat and becomes a Celestial, but Arishem, the other Celestial, comes to stop her. We have the entire world witnessing this battle between Arishem and Agatha Harkness as the Celestial, and it was very visually impressive. I also really like the through line in this episode of the movies and how important movies are, and they're shooting this all wondering if this is going to be the greatest movie ever made. And to piggyback off of that, my favorite part of the episode is actually the end. We see Agatha defeat Arishem and absorb his power, now becoming the most powerful being. And in typical Agatha fashion, she actually had a plan the whole time to just steal this power for herself and reshape the world as she sees fit. However, it's Kingo this time who delivers one of the coolest lines in recent MCU history. Kingo is trying to bring Agatha back to reality and let her know how important the work she did as a film star was for the entire world and all of its people, and we get this kind of symbolic line about movies, places where people go to escape and see wonderful things and learn that anything is possible. It's with this grounded, down-to-earth kind of topic that Kingo's able to reel Agatha back in. And in turn, this whole focus on movies and the importance of them shifts the entire course of history. We have Howard Stark shifting from a warmongering engineer scientist to someone who thinks movies are the future and is going to replace war. A very cool concept that I actually really like. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Uatu the Watcher actually even says we get a happy ending, and then of course we do have a cliffhanger, which he does mention as well. Pretty meta. But overall, I kind of have mixed feelings on this episode. We've talked about this so many times, but there's endless amounts of content and scenarios and situations we can put heroes in for these episodes of What If. And I'm not trying to be negative here, but I'm assuming like 90% or more of people would have rather had something else than an episode about Agatha and Kingo making movies. That's not saying this episode is bad, because like I have said previously in this video, I actually enjoyed a lot of the content here. But in an animated show that is about the multiverse that should just keep going and going instead of ending, you're choosing one of these kinds of episodes to be your finale. People who don't really like the concept of it, I don't know if they're going to watch it in the first place. So me, I love Marvel and I love this show, so I'm going to watch it even though I wasn't super interested in the title, and I'm glad I watched it because the content was good, but the interesting thing is that the episode title itself wasn't interesting to me. I think we've had this issue maybe a couple times before where the episode title doesn't really sound exciting, but the content within it is actually pretty good, and I think this is a prime example of it. I was not particularly enjoying it for the first quarter to maybe halfway through the episode, but it really ramped up and a lot of things just pieced together and actually ended up telling a pretty interesting and good, fun story. I'm assuming we're probably going to see these characters again at the end of this season, along with all of the other characters from this season and maybe even previous ones. And lastly, I am a fan of the Eternals movie. I'm excited to see more of these characters, especially Thena, Kingo, and characters like Phastos. I think including them in What If is a good idea to get people talking about them more, but I don't know what they're going to do with these characters outside of this show. That's a topic for another video. Guys, let me know down below what you thought about this episode. I'd love to read your thoughts. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for tomorrow's video.